New Mexico is known for its breathtaking landscapes, rich culture, and unique history. But did you know the southern part of the state is practically empty? Hardly anyone lives there. Southern New Mexico has endless open space, rugged mountains, and vast deserts. It sounds like a paradise for some people, so why do so few people live in New Mexico's south? Let's explore the reasons why this region remains so empty compared to other parts of the state. New Mexico is one of the least densely populated states in the country, with just 17.5 people per square mile. For comparison, that's even fewer than states like Wyoming and Montana. Only 2 cities in New Mexico have over 100,000 residents, Albuquerque and Las Cruces, and much of the state remains sparsely populated. Las Cruces, in the south, has only around 14,000 people in its metropolitan area, while vast stretches of land in the region remain virtually empty. But what made this part of the state so sparsely inhabited? It actually starts with a really interesting history that has shaped the state's population patterns. New Mexico's first inhabitants were the Clovis culture, dating back to 21,000 BC. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, they were drawn by tales of the 7 cities of gold. Although the Spanish established Santa Fe in 1610, their presence faced resistance, notably during the Pueblo Rebellion of 1680. This uprising forced the Spanish out of New Mexico for over a decade. New Mexico became part of the U.S. in 1846, but much of its land was undeveloped. It wasn't until the early 20th century that New Mexico truly began to modernize. The discovery of oil near Hobbs in 1928 marked a turning point for the region. Despite these changes, southern New Mexico stayed untouched by the state's industries, affecting its population even today. New Mexico is a state of extremes. It covers 122,000 square miles, making it the 5th largest state in the U.S. But size alone doesn't explain why so much of it is underpopulated. New Mexico's geography is diverse, ranging from pine-covered mountains to vast deserts, and southern New Mexico is dominated by the Chihuahuan Desert, the largest desert in North America. This arid environment presents some serious challenges to development. While the northern and central regions enjoy more water sources, the southern portion struggles with limited access to fresh water and unreliable rainfall. Take White Sands National Park. Located in the Tularosa Basin, it's the largest gypsum dune field in the world. Stunning? Yes. But not ideal for building cities. It lacks water, and summer temperatures often rise above 100 degrees. Beyond the natural obstacles, the infrastructure in southern New Mexico also plays a role in its underdevelopment. Many rural areas in the southern part of the state struggle with deteriorating infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and even basic services like water and health care. More than half of New Mexico's roads are in poor or fair condition, and around 5.5% of its bridges are rated as structurally deficient. Rural hospitals are scarce, and many counties in the southern part of the state don't even have a hospital to begin with. This lack of infrastructure makes it difficult to attract new residents or industries to the area, further contributing to the region's slow population growth. Geographically, southern New Mexico is isolated. The region is home to several mountain ranges, including the Sacramento, Guadalupe, and Organ Mountains, all of which separate communities and create natural barriers to expansion. The lack of navigable rivers or major ports also limits economic opportunities that other regions in the U.S. might take for granted. The Rio Grande, while important for agriculture, cannot support the type of large-scale commerce that cities like Albuquerque or El Paso benefit from. The water scarcity in this region is a long-standing issue and is projected to worsen due to climate change. Agriculture is southern New Mexico's main industry, but it's costly. Around 75% of the state's water goes to crops like chilies and pecans. With water supplies shrinking, experts predict some communities could run dry in 20 to 30 years. This water struggle has shaped development and remains one of the region's biggest challenges. Another issue that has slowed the region's population growth is economic disparity. Southern New Mexico is one of the poorest regions in the state. The median household income in New Mexico is just $48,000. Making it one of the 5 poorest states in the country. This has driven many young people and families to seek opportunities elsewhere, often in larger cities or out of state entirely. Additionally, several communities in southern New Mexico, particularly near the border, are considered colonias, unincorporated, low-income slums where basic services like clean water, sewage, and adequate housing are lacking. But the story of southern New Mexico isn't just about geography and economics. It's also about a region with a unique and often painful history. The arid, remote landscapes of the lower Rio Grande Valley have long provided shelter isolated from the rest of civilization, a trait exploited during the development of the first atomic bomb at the Trinity site in 1945. The detonation, part of the Manhattan Project, caused lasting harm to the area's ecosystem and its inhabitants, many of whom were neither warned nor evacuated. The residents in this region, largely Hispanic and indigenous communities, now call themselves the Trinity Downwinders, and they continue to suffer from health issues linked to radiation exposure. Despite these challenges, southern New Mexico remains a place of quiet beauty, where rugged mountains meet endless desert skies. The remoteness that once attracted secretive projects like the Manhattan Project now draws artists, nature lovers, and seekers of alternative lifestyles who find solace in its wide-open spaces. But this very isolation, along with economic and infrastructural struggles, continues to limit the population growth in the region. In the end, southern New Mexico's low population comes down to geography, economy, and history. Its stunning but harsh landscapes, lack of natural water sources, and deteriorating infrastructure have all played a role in keeping this region sparsely populated. For those who do call this part of the state home, the rewards are found in its natural beauty, cultural heritage, and the unique lifestyle that only a place like southern New Mexico can offer.